This is the Horse Radio Network.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1436, brought to you today by American Harvest Naturals Equine Hemp Supplement. This time, Horse Radio Network founder Glenn the Geek is joined by our go-to gal for equestrian travel, Darley Newman, and they're going to have a little chat about packing for your next equestrian vacation adventure, a little different than packing for a horse show. And we'll get right to our tip after we learn a little bit more about American Harvest Naturals Equine Hemp Supplement. Is your horse showing signs of nervousness, inflammation, pain, or digestive issues? If so, American Harvest products might be the solution you need. American Harvest's natural equine hemp pellets are vet formulated and produced from natural hemp. The palatable pelleted formula is manufactured with potent raw CBD using no chemical processing, so your horse will love the taste as much as you'll love the benefits. Look for the full line of American Harvest products at your local equine shop, any Hubbard dealer, or you can go online to store.alltech.com. And right now, American Harvest is offering an exclusive giveaway for you, loyal Horse Radio Network listeners. One lucky winner will receive a 90-day supply of American Harvest equine products. Check out today's show notes for details on how to enter.
Well, hi, Darley, and welcome to Horse Tip Daily, your first episode with us.
Thank you, Glenn. I'm excited to share some packing wisdom.
Well, you know, you have been on the Stable Scoop show with us, and people can go back to stablescoop.com and take a listen to that episode if they want to hear more from you. We had an absolutely fantastic time with you, by the way, Helene and I did.
I had a good time, too. We covered a lot of topics in a lot of different places all around the world, so that's always fun.
Well, and you know, it's fun to hear the stories behind the scenes, the behind-the-scenes stories of what you go through to just record this show. And, it's amazing. We don't know a tenth of what you go through to do all the booking of the transportation and everything that you do, which is kind of what ties into why we're having you on Horse Tip Daily to do travel tips.
Yeah, well, and packing is a huge part of it. I mean, before I'm going anywhere, my bed gets filled with stuff that I'm looking at bringing and thinking about and thinking about the weather and the terrain. Because when you're going to different places, you might be in the snow in Quebec. You're going to need totally different things than if you're in the rainforest in Costa Rica or down with the gauchos in South America. So there are different things to consider when you're starting to pack to take one of these trips.
Your passport must have lots of pretty stamps on it.
It does. I just got a new one, though. The other one is, the other one, I can't use it anymore, so I'm going to have to start kind of all over again.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You can hang it on the wall or frame it or something.
I know. And they, sometimes they don't stamp your passport, though.
Oh.
I don't know why that is, but sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't.
Huh. Well, you travel a heck of a lot more than I do. And what we're talking about here is actually traveling when you're planning on riding, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that'll be where the tips come in. And, of course, I introduced you here telling everybody about what you do and the fun job you have.
It is a lot of fun.
I'm sure that it's kind of a relief with all the preparation you go through to get there. It's probably kind of a relief when you finally do get there and get to just doing the show.
It is. And then it's always a whirlwind because, we're there for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and it just goes by really quickly. We're here one day, gone the next, and sometimes we're driving into the night and downloading our footage and getting ready for the next morning. So it's a lot.
Something I didn't get to ask you about. Well, we will get to the tip, everybody, but we just have so much fun talking to Darley. Something I didn't get to ask you about is you have to get along really well with your crew to spend that much time with them.
We're tight. We're a little family.
Yeah, you'd have to be because
yes,
otherwise that would just really stink.
No, we've got inside jokes and it's a lot of fun. There's 3 of us, so we're very tight knit, and we're riding all over, and we help each other out, and we have fun with it. So it's an adventure.
Well, you said you wanted to start talking a little bit about travel, and I guess the first thing before you even get on the plane or in the car is what to take along when you're going on a riding vacation.
Yes, there's a lot to consider, but it's fun. I think generally I like to pack things that are well broken in and comfortable. That's the biggest tip I can give.
Don't buy the new pair of paddocks before you go on vacation?
No, I mean, wear them riding, break them in. You will be in pain if you don't. Or, you got those new pair of boots that are really pretty, maybe they're cowboy boots or something, wear them around and ride in them because you want to make sure they're comfortable once you're out there for a week riding, because you don't want to start getting a rub or something or have something that doesn't fit exactly right, because that's just no fun.
And I guess that also applies to chaps and half chaps too.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and chaps and half chaps are something that I like to bring. I don't always bring them. I think another thing I can tell people is figure out where you're going and figure out what they have that you can borrow there. Because, a lot of places have things like rain gear. They may have extra pairs of chaps. And that way you don't have to fill your suitcase up and carry all that heavy stuff that, they sometimes charge you for at the airports now. I just was up in Alberta, and they actually had those long, oiled Western, duster jackets for when it rains.
Yep.
And I didn't have to pack that. That's a huge thing not to take.
Well, that takes up a whole suitcase in itself.
Oh, it does. And I've been to ranches where they have chaps that you can borrow. And as you know, if you're riding through a desert environment where there's cacti and prickly things, you're going to want those chaps on because they protect your legs. And if you're up where we were just in Alberta where it's good, you got a hailstorm or rain, you want those chaps because they keep your legs dry and protect you when you're going through those, zigzaggy narrow trails through the forest or something. So all that stuff is good to bring along.
All right. So what are the necessities? What do you have to have?
Sunscreen.
Yeah, that is one thing.
For me, I think sunscreen's a necessity, and you just don't notice when you're out there all day how much sun you're getting, even if it's cloudy. So, I think that's something that you definitely want to bring along. And it depends on where you're going. If I like a bandana if I'm going to be outside a lot, because it's another thing that protects your neck from the sun. You can use it for a lot of different things. You can repair things with your bandana. You cover your mouth if you're on a dusty trail. So the bandana is something that I think is another great thing. I think riding gloves can be essential. And I would definitely tell people to consider bringing along riding gloves. If you've done a lot of trail riding on different horses, you may know that sometimes those horses like to eat on the trails. And sometimes it can be hard to stop them. I was on a Highland pony in Scotland, and that pony was strong, and it wanted to eat. So you can't, retrain a horse that's not yours necessarily in a day. So sometimes you just want to have those gloves on because those reins are going in and out of your hands. So that's something else that some people don't think about that you may want to bring along.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that. I drive, I don't ride, but I don't drive without gloves on.
No, and rain gear, packing layers are key because the weather's going to change. During the day, it may get warmer. I like to have things that are either zip up or they have buttons, that fleece or sweaters, because those can be good. With rain gear, another thing to consider is you might want to have something that doesn't make a ton of noise for when you're riding. I like wax jackets because they're just nice and subtle, and you're not going to, be riding around and your horse is going to be like, what is that that's on my back?
Right.
That loud thing. So
well, you have an added thing, too, you personally, because you have to look good. So you have to have clothes that actually look good. How many bags do you end up with when you go on a shoot?
I bring a lot of different tops, but you know what? We have not even just looking good. We wear wireless mics, so we have to actually consider what things sound like,
right.
and that can be hard. And the people that we ride with, that we mic, before we put on the mic, I'm kind of feeling the fabric on their shirts, and so is our camera guy to see what it sounds like. And sometimes we have to make people change. We're like, I'm sorry, you can't wear that shirt.
Yeah, the old cowboys, I bet they love that.
Yeah, they do. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wear the shirt that you wear that you love, and it's your favorite one. You're going to have to take it off.
Yeah, that you were planning. You thought about which one I was going to wear for the last month before you showed up, and
yeah, it's really interesting. You don't even think about what you're wearing as having these sounds, but those little microphones pick up a lot of it. So.
Well, I always had the question too. Now we're completely off topic, but everybody that listens to this show knows I go there. Why can't they make the little... you always see on TV, like when you're watching Craig Ferguson or somebody, they have these big packs, the wireless packs, And then haven't they, with all the technology today, you think they could make it without the big pack?
They are a lot smaller now. We have some that are new, and they're pretty small. They're maybe the size of an iPhone, a little bit smaller.
Really?
Actually, they're smaller than an iPhone.
You see these, and you see them stuffed in pants and backs of shirts. And
yeah, we put them all over the place. But no, they're a lot smaller, actually, because even a year ago, we had different packs ourselves, and you don't want big packs when you have to wear them riding, because if you start going a little bit faster or trotting, they're going to bounce around, and it's just not comfortable. So, yeah, they're making them smaller now. I'm hoping they're going to get even smaller in the future, because we put our mics in weird places, too. I mean, I've had it in like a helmet before, and then I take off my helmet, and I have this big mark on my forehead, and I'm like, great.
So what do you bring, speaking of helmets, what do you bring of the riding gear on that you will always use your own?
Well, I mean, I always bring anything that I'm going to wear, my helmet or my, cowboy hat or, my shoes. And I like to bring, if I'm doing English, I bring my own half chaps because they're just so well broken in, and I would probably have trouble borrowing someone else's, because those are things that like fit exactly to you.
Right.
So,
too.
Yeah, and we don't have to bring tack. And if you're taking a riding vacation, that's not something that you would normally have to bring. And even things like saddlebags, those things are usually provided for you. So you want to ask before you go, but those things are usually there. I also actually like to, depending on where I'm going, if I'm going somewhere tropical or somewhere where I know I'm going to be hiking off my horse as well as, doing other things, I'll wear, instead of paddock boots, like the all-terrain riding boots that have treads on the bottom.
Oh, the sneaker ones there?
Yeah, those are really good. I mean, I was in the rainforest in Belize, and I was hiking across a stream with these slippery rocks, and I was like, I definitely could not do this in my other paddock boots, because the bottom is just, it doesn't have those good treads. So that's something to think about depending on where you're going. And those are waterproof, too, which is nice for when it starts raining.
Well, that's great. All right. Anything else for travel packing here?
Well, I mean, just when you're out on the trail, obviously you want your water. We always bring snacks and food depending on how long we're going to be out. Your guide will most likely have the other things like a cell phone and hoof pick, the tools, matches, compass, first aid kit. But, I mean, a good guide will have all that stuff, but you just want to make sure that that's available, and water for the horses on the trail. And then you're set to go. I just like to try to keep things as simple as possible. And that's where finding out what's available when you're going to get there is key, and finding out, hopefully, you can find out somewhat what the weather is going to be like so you can plan for that.
How do you carry your helmet? Just, this will be the last question here. How do you carry your helmet and your cowboy hat and stuff? Do you pack those in a suitcase, or? I
pack my helmet, and I pack it within, clothes and other things just so it won't get damaged in my suitcase.
Right.
And because, as you know, the suitcase can come out. I usually have to replace a suitcase, I feel like, every time I travel. I've had so many free suitcases from the airlines. And then my like a cowboy hat, if I'm bringing that, I'll wear it on the plane, or
you wear it, because that's tough. You almost need a special case if you're going to carry a cowboy hat along.
Yeah, but that can, if you wear it on the plane, you're already getting ready for that vacation.
Right, that's true.
I'm leaving my normal life, and
well, and you look good in yours too, I might say. So not everybody looks good in a cowboy hat.
Oh, I think cowboy hats are fun. So,
well, great. Well, thank you very much. Where can people learn more about you? And also, you have a little store too that you sell stuff. So tell us about that. Yes,
people can get DVDs, books, equestrian travel themed jewelry, and more on our shop, shopdarley.com. And equitrekking.com has video information on equestrian travel, tips, and places where you can do your research and find where you can go on your next vacation.
And that about wraps it up for today. Don't forget, you need to download the free Horse Radio Network app so you don't miss any episodes. Just go to your app store for your iPhone or your Android and search Horse Radio Network. This is Coach Jen, and I will be back again soon with another tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.